All right, everybody. Enrique Zoltano here, and I just made a video on Moloch and Moses. Um, so I wanted to continue on with that. Um, okay. I wanna insert myself into this discussion because this is clearly a discussion that is happening between the Moses way and this very clear criticism of the Molochian Phoenician way. Like at one point, Moses talks about giants. This is a metaphor for men of legalized special privilege who haven't earned that privilege. He's talking about like aristocratic types, nepotism. Moses is a man of merit. After Moses, you had the period of the judges, and in the period of the judges, you'd have these different men rising up. Well, that's what Moses believed. If there's a time of crisis, then the top Jew should be the best Jew. And the best Jew isn't necessarily the son of some former best Jew, or the grandson of some former best Jew. Um, and so I think Moses was about merit. um, but like I'm a story writer, and I was thinking about this because this I started thinking about this stuff like last week, and I just haven't I didn't have any memory on my phone to be able to record it. Um, but you know, for me, like I have my own little ideas on morality. Now, a lot of people who get into moral philosophy, they will say that intent is king. Intent is king. And I would hold to this. I would say intent is king. There's this philosophical idea that we're all selfish, right? But that's a problem with selfishness. That's something you can never prove. Like this is a discussion that can never be proven. So this is a purely abstract discussion that has no math behind it. Because you can never prove whether someone is being selfish or they're being altruistic or loving. You don't know. I think that's one of the beautiful phrases about Yahweh being the searcher of hearts. You can have people with the same behavior and the same faces, but they have different hearts, right? You just never know. Or the same person with different hearts at different times because we transform. But here's my little contribution to moral philosophy, I believe. If anyone wants to discuss this, then let's just discuss it. But my little contribution to moral philosophy is that if intent is king, then circumstance is queen. Right? Now, this isn't moral relativity, but the circumstance is going to really change the intent. And, I think there are times in human civilization where we have to be a people of total sacrifice. For a quaint little example, you could just talk about, we don't have to be talking about these end of the world type shit, but we could just simply be talking about that you're living along the Mississippi, and the Mississippi starts to flood, right? And your community is now in danger from this flood. Well, I mean, the circumstances have now changed, right? And since the circumstances have now changed, this is now a time for total sacrifice, and for the glorious movie music, like, oh, we're sacrificing, yeah, ooh. But there are times where we do need to do this, where we do need to sacrifice. It's all dependent on the circumstances. If there's a a drought and food is scarce, so on and so forth, right? But these are extreme circumstances that we're bringing up here. These are very extreme circumstances. If extreme circumstances are not happening, then that should not be the way. I mean, we should just have a little bit more common sense, I think, rather than getting into all these idea fights. Although I'm getting into an idea fight right now, I'm pretending I'm not, but whatever. Anyways, let's see here. So these would be my beliefs, because I like this idea of Mosaic holiness and the holiness of the Torah. Again, it's about more balanced life, and I think that's what we all yearn for nowadays, which we don't have, right? If we only just listen to Moses. Like, Moses was against the taskmaster, right? It's like he thought we should all be our own taskmasters. And that's not to say that you ever can't work for someone, I mean, your talent might be in building computers, but you don't know how to build a home. But you want a home built, so you have some guy build your home. But you want that home built quick, so you're going to do the work that needs to be done. And so he tells you what to do. He's like, hey, do this, do that, do this, and you do exactly what he tells you to do. And there's no shame in that. I think, one of the most beautiful things to me is that it's about the conversation. It's not about this solid Jew law. Solid Mosaic Jew law. No, it's about the conversation. The God of the Torah is a conversationalist. And Moses and God had a conversation, and the world was changed.